Are you concerned about crime and theft in your place of business? Well, we interviewed a loss prevention expert who has some tips for you. Let's check it out.
My name is Greg Sadler, and I've worked in the loss prevention field for over 15 years. One of the best pieces of advice that I have for the small business owner today would be to watch out for your employees. Internal theft accounts for a large portion of your losses. Employees will just take cash straight out of the cash register by using the method of a fraudulent void, where when a customer leaves, they'll save the receipt, and then they just take the receipt and void it out. And that's how much the sell is that they can put in their pocket. At the end of the day, they'll put that money in their pocket. Today, over 80% of your loss comes from employee theft, and that comes from employees just taking money straight out of the cash register or from removing property from the company. Your second form of theft is shoplifting, and that's about 15% of your loss. And the third loss is paperwork errors, which is caused by inventory shortages or your vendors shorting you when they deliver your product. Some of the signs to look out for when you suspect that your employee is stealing from the company is that they've been there a short amount of time, or they're complaining about their job. They don't enjoy their job. They're always feeling disgruntled, or they just don't enjoy what they're doing, and so they'll take from the company because they feel like that the company owes them. Some of the things that you can do to prevent the employee theft or to keep an eye on your employees is by using hidden surveillance equipment. And there's wireless cameras that you can use, or cameras that are actually wired into a VCR or some type of digital recording. Things to look for when you suspect someone is shoplifting is what you want to watch is that when they walk in the front door, they're going to be avoiding employees. They don't want help. They'll avoid employees at all costs. They'll walk around the store. You'll watch them pacing around the store, shifty eyes, looking up at the ceiling for camera equipment. They might duck behind a counter. They might be squatting down or just kind of getting really close to the product so they can conceal it in their pockets or in their clothing. Some of the ways you can prevent that is just great customer service. The best line of defense for shoplifting is to approach them with as many employees as possible to provide customer service. Just walk up and say, "Hey, how you doing today? Can I help you? I'll be right over here." Then they know that they're around and they're being watched. They know that they probably better not shoplift that day from that store. If you suspect someone has stolen from your store, that someone has shoplifted, there's 6 steps that you want to follow. And the first one is selection. You have to see that person enter the department and pick up an item off of the shelf or product off of the shelf. And then the second step is concealment. You'll have to see that person conceal the product or hide it under their clothing, or at least put it in their palm of their hand where it looks like they're trying to hide it to get it out of the store. You cannot lose sight of the person the whole time. You have to have unbroken sight. If you lose sight of that person at any time, they could have dumped the product or stashed it or even dropped it back off, so you don't even want to stop anybody if you've lost sight of them. The fourth is a point of sale. They have to walk past the cash registers. Once they walk past the cash registers, then they've had all opportunities to pay for that product. Then they walk out the door. Number 5, they have to make that exit. As soon as they exit the store, you followed every step that you need to stop that person outside and to approach that customer about recovering the product. Step number 6 is the recovery. You want to recover the product when you get outside the store just by saying, we know there's product in your front left pocket or wherever you saw them put it, and then you can recover your product. If you expect an employee is stolen from your company, one of the things you want to do is sit down with them and have an interview with them about what they've done, and you can bring somebody in to do that. One of the techniques that I like to use is called the Wicklander and Zulawski interview and interrogation techniques. You never want to outright accuse the employee of stealing because you can open yourself up to all kinds of lawsuits. You want to sit down with that employee and have a non-threatening interview. By the end of the interview, that employee will have confessed to everything that they've done and what they've done from the taken from the company, and you'll be able to recover your product or even recover funds for the loss of that product. So if your store is held up and someone comes in the store with a gun or another weapon, the one thing you want to do is remain calm. Give them what they want so they'll be on their way. Your life is worth more than the money that's in that cash register, and just let them have what they want. Now, your employees can be trained to memorize facial features of the suspect, maybe their weight, their height, their approximate age, and facial features like beards, mustaches, tattoos, any kind of scars that might be on the person. And once that person has gone out the door, they can write those things down. When the police come, they can fill out the report, then the police will have that information for the report.
I hope you receive some tips to help safeguard your business. I'm Summer Morines with D&B Digital TV, and I'll see you next time right here.